Okay, today we're gonna do a slightly more difficult example of polynomial long division. So we're gonna do 2x to the fifth minus 5x to the fourth plus 7x cubed plus 4x squared minus 10x plus 11, and we're gonna divide this by x cubed plus 2. Just a reminder which is the dividend and which is the divisor. So up top is the dividend. So if we set this up, we're going to draw our division here and put our dividend underneath right in here. So we're going to have 2x to the fifth minus 5x to the fourth plus 7x cubed plus 4x squared minus 10x plus 11. And then for our divisor, we're going to put it outside right here, but I'm going to add in some spaces. So I'll show you what I mean by that. It's going to be x cubed plus 0 x squared plus 0x plus 2. So the reason why I added in these spaces is just so that everything stays nice and organized. Because remember that you can only add and subtract terms that are of the same power x. So for example, I can do 7x to the fifth minus 10x to the fifth, and this is completely valid. This is just going to give me a negative 3x to the fifth, so that's fine. However, I can't do something like, say, if I wanted to do 10x to the fifth plus 2x squared. These two can't be combined any further. So I'm going to add these spaces in here just so that I don't accidentally do a addition that isn't allowed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at this first term and look at this first term here, and I'm going to multiply this x cubed by something that will give me 2x to the fifth. So that number is going to be 2x squared. So I'll put a 2x squared up here, and then this 2x squared is going to come down and multiply to all of these terms here. So 2x squared times x cubed is going to be 2x to the fifth. 2x squared times 0x squared is going to give us 0x to the fourth. And this is where my space holders are coming in. I could just write a 0 here for these two terms, but I want to keep this space in here just so that I have my to the fifth power terms organized and my to the fourth power terms organized, and so on. So 2x squared times 0x is going to be 0x cubed, and as you can see, the cube terms are still organized right here. And then 2x squared times 2 is going to give us 4x squared. So now that I've done that, I am going to add these two together, but distribute a negative to this entire bottom term here. So the negative is going to distribute in here, and we're going to have 2x to the fifth plus a negative 2x to the fifth, so we'll get 0 there. So here, when you distribute a negative to a 0, it's still just 0, so we're going to just bring these down. Negative 5x to the fourth plus 7x cubed. And then over here, we're going to have 4x squared plus a negative 4x squared, because this negative is going to distribute just like that. So we're going to actually get a 0x squared for that one. And again, 0x squared is just 0. I'm just keeping this placeholder in here so that my problem can solve a little bit easier. So now I'm going to bring these two terms down here, so minus 10x plus 11, and then it's going to be time to pretty much do this process all over again. So I'm going to look at this term right here. I'm going to find something that I multiply to this term in order to get this term. So that's going to be 5x, right? Because 5x times x cubed is going to give me, so it's actually going to be negative 5x, my apologies, because I want to multiply it to x cubed to get negative 5x to the fourth. So if I put a negative 5x up here, I'm going to take my negative 5x, multiply it by x cubed, and that's going to give me negative 5x to the fourth. And then I'm going to multiply through, so negative 5x times 0x squared is going to give me plus 0x cubed. Negative 5x times 0x is going to give me plus 0x squared. Negative 5x times 2 is going to give me minus 10x, and then we're going to add these together and distribute our negative. So we're going to be adding these and then of course distributing this negative. So this negative is going to distribute in and change this sign and this sign here. So these two terms are going to cancel, this negative 5x to the fourth plus positive 5x to the fourth, so that's going to be 0. This 7x cubed just gets brought down because it's just being added to 0. So I'm going to have a 7x cubed here. This is still going to be a 0x squared, so plus 0x squared. I'm going to keep this in here as a placeholder. And then this negative is going to distribute here and make this a positive, so this is also going to just become 0. And then this 11 over here is going to be brought down. So this is what we're looking at now. And now we just have to complete our process again. So this time we're looking at this first term right here, 7x cubed. What do I need to multiply to x cubed in order to get 7x cubed? That's just plus 7. So we do 7 times x cubed, so we get a 7x cubed. 7 times 0x squared is just going to give us 0x squared. 7 times 0x is just going to give us 0x. And then 7 times 2 is going to give us plus 14. So now we are going to continue on. We're adding these two together and distributing our negative like always. So 7x cubed plus a negative 7x cubed is going to give us 0. These two columns right here are just going to give us 0 again, plus 0, plus 0. And then this negative is going to distribute in here and make this entire 14 negative. So we're going to have 11 plus negative 14, which gives us negative 3. So now we're going to complete this process again. We are going to look at our negative 3 and we're going to look at our x cubed, and we're going to say, what do I need to multiply my x cubed by to get negative 3? And the answer to that is, well, I can't do that. So that's how we know that we're done with our polynomial long division. And if you happen to have a number left over here, that means that you have a remainder. So pretty much how we write our remainder is Our remainder is going to equal whatever number or whatever polynomial is left over. So sometimes you won't have just a whole number here, but maybe you'll have a 2x or a polynomial of some sort. We're just going to write that, and then we're going to divide it by this term right up here. So divided by x cubed plus 2. And that's how we write out our remainder in polynomial long division. So just to make this extra clear, our quotient is going to be this number that we found up top here. So it's going to be 2x squared minus 5x plus 7, and we're going to have a remainder that's equal to negative 3 divided by x cubed plus 2. And the denominator of your remainder is always going to be this term outside right here. So it's always going to be your divisor, and you're just going to stick it right down there. So I'll probably do another example that's even slightly more difficult, but here's our answer for this one.